Hello, everyone. This is Sarah Runyons with Cove Living, brokered by XP Realty. And today I'm coming to you unscripted. This is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. And just want to start off. First topic is, should I buy a house or should I sell my house? First of all, I want you to know that not everyone needs to buy a house. Believe me, I know that. And there are situations that if you were to try and buy a house, it would be the worst possible decision you could make. So, am I trying to tell everyone to buy a house? No. If you come and talk to me and I look at your situation and you tell me kind of your whole scenario, and then I say, you know what? This may not be the right time for you to buy a house. And I will be upfront, honest with you about that. But at the end of the day, it is your decision. But I don't want to cause someone to get into something that's not the right thing. And so I really, really think it could potentially be the worst possible decision you could ever make. Um, on the other hand, if the timing is right and your financial situation is right, then buying a house can be the best thing that you ever did. So it could be a one of either extremes. And so that's what we want to get at for you is what's the right thing for you to do right now? And maybe it's not right now. Maybe you need to wait. What I want to talk about today is some of the current market information. And for those of you who have been trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? I want to buy a house or I want to sell my house. Is this a good time? Is it not a good time? What's coming up? And all of those sort of things. So I'm going to get into that in this quick video today. One of the things that's been on everyone's mind is interest rates and inflation. We're not just seeing inflation in the housing market, but all across the board. And the food we eat and just about everything that we do, we're seeing inflation. So the Fed stepped in to help curb inflation, and as you may know, interest rates started going up. Now, we were looking at getting close to 8% here in this fourth quarter of 2023 on the mortgage interest rates. For us, that seems high because we had gotten accustomed to some really low interest rates. As a matter of fact, those low interest rates at 2 and 3%, those were it was like a unicorn, okay, like a unicorn year. Those are not normal rates, and those were artificially controlled to be low at that time. But will that happen again? Unless we end up in some similar type scenario in the future, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not, who knows, maybe not even in our lifetime. But we don't know. And that's the other thing about interest rates. Interest rates are hard to predict, even for experts, even for those who have had a good track record at predicting interest rates. They can be wrong about interest rates because there are so many variables that impact them. Now, back to what's going on with interest rates right now. So we're seeing them come down some. There is a correlation usually with what the Fed's rates are and mortgage interest rates. And the Fed kept raising their rates, therefore mortgage rates kept going up. And usually those two rates, they parallel one another. But there was starting to be a spread between those rates, and that was very unusual. The Fed stopped raising their rates this year in July, but interest rates continued to go up until they got to almost 8%. And then they started going, maybe they did get to 8%, and they started going down. And not by much, but they are going down slowly. Now, there are things you can do to get lower interest rates. For example, certain types of loans have lower interest rates, like FHA loans, the government-backed loans, VA loans. You can buy down points, which can bring down your interest rate, which could be a better use of your money than putting it on more on your down payment. So that's something that you can talk with your lender about is, would it make more sense for me to buy down points or put more down on a down payment? And it can have to do with how long you plan to stay in the house, among other things. There are a lot of different reasons one option may be better than the other. So there are a lot of things to consider when it comes to buying and selling homes. It's not a one size fits all plan. Just because your best friend did one thing doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. And so that's what I do, and my business partners or other people in the industry do to help you make the best possible decisions. Um, all right. Another thing is because we had so much inflation, existing homeowners gained a tremendous amount of equity in their homes. And I know most of you probably know what equity is, but equity is just how much you owe on your current mortgage compared with what the value of the home is. And there were people who their equity shot up more than $100,000 over that time frame in the past few years when inflation went up so much, and some of them significantly more than that. So some of those people, if they want to sell their existing home, may be able to turn around and make a cash purchase, in which case they wouldn't interest rates wouldn't matter to them. So for someone that's a cash buyer, they're not bound by when they're going to buy it. They may want to buy when there is less buyer activity, and then they can get what they want, or have a better opportunity to get into what they like to buy. So so many factors when it comes to uh, home buying and selling. Now, 2024, the best that I've heard from those who are predicting what's going forward is that we may see interest rates continue to inch down slightly through maybe the spring of 2024, but that's not even a guarantee. Okay, we're already seeing it come down into the 6% range. So, is it going to come down any further than that? I haven't heard that it's going to come down much more than that, if at all. So it may be around the fives in the spring, but it might go up. So what I would say is, let's look at the fact that the interest rates have come down some as a positive. And what I am hearing right now is that January could be a very active month, because as buyers get back out in the market, and people who have their homes on the market that have maybe they've been waiting and they can't sell because they haven't had buyers to be able to buy, they're going to be able to sell potentially in January. So that's good news for our home sellers and for buyers, except that there may be more competition for those buyers, as interest rates come down. All right, so I recommend, if you want to get into the housing market, talk to me. I'll tell you what it's like. It's kind of like giving you a forecast of what the weather is like, only it's the real estate weather, what's going on in real estate. All right, so another thing that I wanted to touch on today, and this is something that is kind of like the elephant in the room. Have you heard about the Sitzer-Burnett lawsuits against the National Association of Realtors? And at this point, I think a lot of people have. And so what does that mean for the industry? What does that mean for real estate agents? What does that mean for consumers? And it means a lot of different things. Is it over yet? Well, I think that there's more to come. There's a lot of talk that it could go to the Supreme Court and so on and so forth. So this is not over, but is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? There are so many things that could be said about this. I think in a lot of ways, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of the negatives about it, but is it going to change the way business is done in real estate? Potentially. I do hope that if it makes any changes, that it's for the better. But right now, I'm seeing a lot of the negatives, and that's something that I don't like. Like, I don't like the idea that potentially attorneys are coming in and they're representing these people, so they get all of this money, and then they turn around and then they leave people high and dry. And I don't want to see that happening to my clients or to people that are out there trying to buy and sell homes. One of the negatives is we're looking at the potential of not having buyer agency. Buyer agency hasn't always existed here in the United States, and it came about because there was a need for people buying homes to have representation. And in the state that I live in, Alabama, we're a buyer beware state, and it is very helpful to have an agent with you who can help you navigate the home purchasing process. Um, Once again, as I'm thinking about this, there's so much that could be said. But another issue that's come out from the lawsuits is people feel like, I'm going to back up and say a lot of people are probably, I feel like, are upset because of inflation and housing being unaffordable, and they're really angry, and in some ways it's like they're lashing out at real estate agents over what's going on in the market. And I think that a lot of people don't really understand the complexities of what's going on, and how our system works. It does really work well. Um, as a matter of fact, other countries that do not have buyer agency are looking at our model now because they feel like it would benefit them to go that route. So this current model that we have didn't happen um, as a negative. It actually was a positive reflection on the industry and not a negative when it came about. So it's like we're going backwards, in my opinion. I just feel like we're kind of going backwards, and it's going to disenfranchise people who cannot afford a buyer agent. Um, Another perception that people have is that, well, real estate agents are making too much money, or my real estate agent didn't earn, what I paid them. And I understand, and I know sometimes that may seem to be true. Um, but I also know that real estate agents can be some of the hardest working people, and that do a tremendous amount for their clients. And I know that a lot of us work tirelessly and very, we're try to be as smart as we can about what we're doing, and work as hard as we can to represent our clients in the best way and to help them. And in many cases, our clients earn far more for their property than they would without us. And they literally earn our fee and then some by having an agent. And it takes a lot of work and stress off of the client. But with all that said, the perception is that agents may be wealthy. Yes, there are some wealthy real estate agents, but that is not the norm. Okay. Most real estate agents are not extremely wealthy. Um, and what the real estate agent is doing is providing a service, and they pay money, and they'll pay hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars on a listing that may or may not sell, and that's money that they have taken out that they may not get back. So agents, when they're paid, if they're sharing the fee with the buyer agent, and this should be explained to you by your agent if you have a listing. Um, if it's not, I would be surprised. It should be explained. It's in the contract that is signed. But that's how we have that cooperation where the buyers bring people, and buyer agents will work tirelessly and hours upon hours and take people to see numerous properties. Um, you know, and that's how they can easily bring people to your property. So it's like cooperating with them by sharing that fee. And there's again, everything that I say, there's a lot more that could be said about it, but it's truly a complex issue. So then if we share that fee with the buyer agent, then the fee is broken down even further, because then we also pay our broker. Every real estate agent has to come underneath uh, a broker, a qualifying broker, and each broker has their fees that we pay. And those brokers also provide services for the agent to help the agent to be able to serve the client better. So that fee goes to the broker. Then additionally, they're taking anywhere from 30 to 50% of their paycheck to go to taxes, depending on the tax bracket they're in and all of that. Then they're taking out money, a significant portion of money, for business expenses. And then whatever is left after that to pay their bills and to live on. And so it whittles down considerably when you look at how it's broken down per transaction. So anyway, um, as far as fees being negotiable, this is America. It's a free country. You do not have to list your property for sale with a real estate agent. You can do it for sale by owner. You can use a discount broker. Always be aware of what services that they provide to you. You can go with a real estate agent, and you have a plethora of real estate agents to choose from. You can negotiate your fee. Maybe an agent says, well, you know what, this is what my fee is going to be. I'm not coming down on it. Well, if they're providing the value, then it might be worth it. It very well could be worth it for you to pay their fee. If you don't want to do that, find someone that has got the fee that you're comfortable with and that you want to pay. But all of those things to say, then you've got to have people coming to your home, and who's going to be bringing them. So we realize as an industry, even if this does go to the Supreme Court, that this could change the way we do business in real estate. And we're going to pivot, and we're going to do what we need to do to make those adjustments going forward. But we don't know what it's going to look like at this point, quite frankly. But we do know, meanwhile, people want to buy and sell homes, and we're going to continue to disclose what we need to disclose to our clients about our fees, how we're paid, about where that money goes, and all of those things. So anyway, find you an agent that you trust, and go from there. If you want to use an agent, again, you can sell for sale by owner. What ends up happening a lot of times with for sale by owners is most people that are looking at houses, they're working with a real estate agent, and those real estate agents are buyer agents. If we have to start having the buyers to pay the buyer agent fee, then again, that disenfranchises people that can't afford that fee. And there are some, like people using VA loans and certain types of loans, that they are not allowed to pay a buyer agent fee. That's mandated, that they cannot take their money and pay that buyer agent. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. But a buyer agent, I just know what we do, and they can make a huge difference and be a very valuable asset to the buyers. So anyway, it's just, it makes life interesting to see where this is going to go. But I do know that what we do is of great value to our clients, and hope that we will be able to continue to serve people in the way that we do, or at least in some modified way that helps our clients and home buyers and home sellers to be successful at what they're doing. Anyway, last but not least, if you subscribe to my email, at the end of my email, I have a home buyer app that you can download. And this app has all kinds of features on it that can help you, whether you are a homeowner that's not selling or buying. It can help you if you are buying a home, or if you're selling a home, or if you're in the closing process. There are all kinds of features on this app that can help you track through the process of closing, or it can help you do property searches. It can allow you to reach out to me directly through the app. I can also answer questions, or maybe refer you to people to help you. Maybe you need someone to do some electrical work on your home, or some kind of cleaning service or whatever, and you can reach out to me directly through the app and make those kinds of requests. I'm just looking to see, once you've purchased a home, it can set you up on a home maintenance checklist. So there are just all kinds of great things through that app. If you have not subscribed to my email, then I ask that you would just give me your email address. I'll add you, and then you can get my weekly email, and you can have access to that app. And last but not least, I am so looking forward to interviewing some local business owners. That series is going to get ramped up here as we get through the holidays. I've been talking with quite a few local business owners and look forward to helping you to get some insight into these owners and what they offer through their businesses, and a little bit of a personal look at those owners and what got them into the business that they're doing. If you happen to be a local business owner in the greater Huntsville area, please reach out and we'll do it in a Zoom format, kind of like this. It doesn't take more than like 30 minutes of your time to do the interview, all total. I send you a list of potential questions. You choose what you want. You can add your own questions in there. You have a lot of control over the interview. And then we get together on the Zoom meeting and we do record the interview. So I look forward to hearing from some of you. Maybe you know someone that's got a local business that would like to have some exposure or would like to share with us about their business. So please reach out. Let me know if you want to be on my interview series. I'm calling it Hyper Local in Huntsville. I'll have a great end to your 2023 and Happy New Year.